Standing in the center of a crowded ballroom while wealthy guests stared at my ruined dress was the most humbling moment of my entire life. A cruel woman had just ripped my uniform apart in front of hundreds of high society elites. She smiled like she had put a nameless server in her place. What nobody in that room understood was that the woman they were laughing at was secretly married to one of the most powerful men in America. My name is Sarah Vance, and beneath my modest server apron lived a secret that very few people knew. After marrying my husband Julian Vance, we became stewards of immense fortune from his tech empire. Together we funded hospitals for children, provided college scholarships, and quietly supported struggling families across the nation. Yet I always refused the luxury lifestyle because I believe true character is revealed when you serve others without relying on status. That philosophy led me to volunteer as a normal server at high-profile charitable events several times every month. I never asked for special treatment or mentioned the vast wealth of my family. I wanted to see humanity as it really was when no titles were involved. The hotel management knew me as a dedicated worker who treated every dishwasher and janitor with equal warmth, totally oblivious to my true identity. The annual charity gala at the Crescent Palace Hotel in New York was the biggest event of the entire season. Wealthy donors, corporate leaders, and media reporters filled the magnificent venue under brilliant chandeliers. The host of the evening was Richard Sterling, a ruthless corporate chief executive looking to boost his public reputation. Walking arm in arm with him was his glamorous girlfriend Chloe DuPont, a social media personality obsessed with status. Chloe walked through the venue like she owned the floor, constantly demanding perfection from everyone around her. As I balanced a heavy silver tray loaded with sparkling beverages, a passing guest bumped against my arm. A few droplets of liquid tipped over the edge and fell onto the designer handbag Chloe carried. It was a minor mistake that could easily be wiped clean with a fresh cloth and a genuine apology. Instead of accepting my soft apology, Chloe exploded with furious rage that instantly silenced the surrounding crowd. She screamed at me for touching her expensive accessory, and demanded to know how a pathetic server could afford to replace it. I kept my posture composed and offered to pay for professional restoration, but my polite words only angered her further. She wanted to humiliate me completely in front of the wealthy audience. Before anyone could react, Chloe stepped forward and grabbed the front collar of my uniform with aggressive force. She yanked the fabric downward, tearing the white fabric apart while buttons scattered across the shiny floor. Gasps echoed throughout the massive hall as people pulled out phones to record my shame. I covered my chest with my hands, feeling hot tears fill my eyes while refusing to scream or hurl insults back. Richard Sterling stood beside Chloe and watched the dramatic scene without offering a single word of defense for me. He knew his girlfriend went too far, yet his pride made him hesitate to intervene in public. Other hotel workers wanted to help me, but fear of losing their jobs kept them frozen in place. My quiet dignity remained my only armor as I stood alone under the flashing lights of camera phones. Meanwhile, a luxury vehicle pulled up to the entrance canopy outside the hotel. My husband Julian had returned early from a corporate summit in California, hoping to surprise me during the auction later that evening. He entered the hotel dressed in a simple dark suit, expecting a pleasant celebration. Instead, he walked straight into a cold silence as hundreds of eyes watched the humiliating scene unfolding near the center stage. Julian made eye contact with me from across the room and his warm smile vanished into sharp concern. He saw my torn clothes, my trembling hands, and the tears I fought hard to hide. Without saying a word, he removed his dark suit coat, walked past the silent onlookers, and wrapped the jacket softly around my shoulders. The entire room went silent as a hotel manager recognized his face and gasped aloud. Whispers spread like wildfire across every table when people realized who was protecting the humiliated server. The quiet woman they mocked was actually Sarah Vance, the co-founder of the largest educational foundation in the country. She was married to Julian Vance, the billionaire technology pioneer whose funding supported the hotel staff healthcare program. Chloe turned pale as the reality of her terrible mistake washed over her arrogant expression. Richard Sterling realized his cowardly silence had ruined his corporate credibility and destroyed his reputation among industry leaders. Seeking to make amends, he stepped toward the microphone and offered a public apology to me in front of all his peers. He acknowledged that real leadership requires protecting human dignity rather than protecting personal ego. He then publicly severed his personal and professional association with Chloe right on the spot. Julian had the power and legal resources to permanently ruin the high society standing of both individuals involved in the incident. However, as we stood together hand in hand, I requested that we seek no legal retaliation or public revenge against them. I told the crowd that answering humiliation with more humiliation only perpetuates hatred. My choice to show mercy left many wealthy guests wiping away tears of profound respect. News of the ballroom confrontation reached national media within 24 hours, inspiring millions of viewers across the globe. People were moved not by the shock of the torn uniform, but by the strength of a woman who chose grace over anger. Charitable donations to educational programs skyrocketed in the following weeks, and corporate boards across the city introduced new workplace respect initiatives inspired by the lesson. Richard Sterling fundamentally changed his approach to leadership after that unforgettable night at the Crescent Palace Hotel. He transformed his corporate policies to prioritize worker dignity, ensuring that low-income staff received fair wages and total respect. He learned that status without compassion is empty, and he credited that realization to the patient forgiveness he witnessed when a powerful billionaire chose to protect a humble server. Several months later, I returned to the Crescent Palace Hotel wearing the exact same simple server uniform once again. This time every dishwasher, custodian, and manager greeted me with genuine affection and high respect. They did not bow to my wealth or my famous last name, but honored the bond of humanity we shared. I felt overwhelming gratitude knowing that a moment of painful embarrassment had blossomed into lasting hope. True nobility has nothing to do with expensive jewels, designer labels, or executive titles. Real strength lives in our willingness to show compassion when tested by cruelty, and to choose forgiveness over vengeance. When we treat every single person with dignity regardless of their position, we transform the world around us. That evening reminded everyone present that kindness will always remain more powerful than all the riches in the world. If you believe kindness is more powerful than status and that everyone deserves respect no matter their job, please hit the like button, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another inspiring story.